are all covered in motor and dirt. I never bow down to the pain. They say that a countryman shouldn't feel hurt. He stands like an oak in the rain, but nobody sees when the midnight rolls in, and nobody hears how it breaks. The tears of a father are hidden from kin, a secret that only he makes. Fix up the fences and smile in the day. I act like a mountain of stone, but when the old radio slowly gives way, I'm sitting here deeply alone, but nobody sees when the midnight rolls in, and nobody hears how it breaks. The tears of a father are hidden from kin, a secret that only he makes. The steel in my bones starts to slowly unbend. I stare at your chair by the wall. I'm fighting a battle I never can end. I'm waiting to catch when I fall. A man isn't supposed to be crying. He's supposed to be tough through the years. But look at me now in the shadows, just choking on fatherly tears. The mailbox is rusting right out by the road. The weeds have grown up to my knees. I carry a load of paper that crosses the breeze. I read all the letters you never have sent. I read them by light of the moon. They say you forgive me for times that I spent. They say you are coming back soon. I know that the metal is empty and bare. I know that the postman has passed, but sitting alone in this worn-over chair, I make the sweet fantasy last. I read all the letters you never have sent. I read them by light of the moon. They say you forgive me for times that I spent. They say you are coming back soon. I hold the blank pages right up to my chest and trace all the words in the dark. It brings a small peace to my terrified breast and stitches the holes in my heart. Your silence is loud in the hallway, but I've got your words in my head. These letters you never have written are keeping me back from the dead. I found your rusty yellow bicycle hidden deep inside the shed. It brought back every single miracle before the silver lined my head. I spend my life out in the cornfields to buy you things I never had. I thought that money was the right way but you just wanted your old dad. Wooden floorboards hold your memory, but the rooms are much too still. I'd give away this empty treasury just to walk you up the hill. I spend my life out in the cornfields to buy you things I never had. I thought that money was the right way, but you just wanted your old dad. I thought that working meant I loved you. I thought a roof would make a man. I never saw the sky above you. I let you slip right through my hands. If the world out there gets heavy and the winter wind blows cold, I'll keep the porch light burning steady to bring you back into the fold, to bring you back into the fold. The sun hits the dust on the old kitchen floor, exactly the same as before. I reach for 2 mugs from the cabinet door before I remember the score. The Tuesday morning lights are cruel. They shine on an empty wooden chair. I stand by the stove like a broken old fool and talk to the cold, empty air. The weekends are heavy, I know how to cope, but weekdays will tear me apart. The smell of the coffee, the loss of the hope, a quiet attack on the heart. The Tuesday morning lights are cruel. They shine on an empty wooden chair. I stand by the stove like a broken old fool and talk to the cold, empty air. I'm wearing the flannel you liked on my back. The radio plays an old tune. The world keeps on spinning right down the same track, while I'm trapped inside of this room. The sun shouldn't rise on a Tuesday if you're not around to awake. I'll pour out the coffee in silence and see how much more I can take. I search through the pages of books in my mind to look for the day that it broke. Was it the evening I acted so blind? Or maybe the harsh words I spoke? When did the river run completely dry? When did the summer turn cold? I didn't notice the tear in your eyes. When did I lose what I hold? It wasn't a thunderstorm tearing us down. It felt like a slow falling rust. I thought we were safe in this sleepy old town, but we were just turning to dust. When did the river run completely dry? When did the summer turn cold? I didn't notice the tear in your eyes. When did I lose what I hold? I miss the small moment you slipped from my grip. I thought we were weathering watched as the anchor was cut from the ship, and I couldn't stop all the pain. If I knew the minute I lost you, I'd travel back there in the dark. I'd hold you so tight you could feel it, and heal up your broken old heart. My lips were stitched up with a terrible pride. I thought that the silence was strong. I kept all the gentle emotions inside and proved to you I wasn't wrong. The words I never said are a stone on my chest. They crush every breath that I take. I thought that my stubborn old silence was best, but it was my greatest mistake. I chopped all the wood and I fixed up the roof. I thought that was saying enough. I acted so distant and stood so aloof. I thought I was being so tough. The words I never said are a stone on my chest. They crush every breath that I take. I thought that my stubborn old silence was best, but it was my greatest mistake. Took your bags to the porch in the rain. I stood like a statue of wood. I swallowed the sorry, I swallowed the pain. I wouldn't speak up, though I should. I won my old pride but I lost you. I'm choking on I love you so. These words I never said will cost me more than you ever will know. The old rocking chair is creaking beneath the fading autumn moon. I stare at the dirt road seeking and praying you'll be coming soon. They say that a fool keeps waiting for ships that will never return, but I leave the front porch shining, just letting the old lantern burn. My coffee has turned to water. The wind blows through the broken screen. I'm failing to be much stronger, caught up in a fading old dream. They say that a fool keeps waiting for ships that will never return, but I'll leave the front porch shining, just letting the old lantern burn. I cannot lock up the doorway. I cannot turn off the light in case you are lost on the highway and looking for home in the night. So I'll keep the rocking chair moving until the cold morning breaks. This is the only thing left now. This is how a father waits. I promised a house with a garden. I promised to show you the sea. I gave you a heart that was hardened and tied you to nothing but me. The broken old promises scatter like glass on the dirty wood floor. I thought that the money would matter, but I left you poor at the door. I drowned all my stress in the whiskey. I watched as the light left your eyes. I gambled the things that were risky and fed you a pocket of lies. The broken old promises scatter like glass on the dirty wood floor. I thought that the money would matter, but I left you poor at the door. I look at the faded old picture. You're wearing that cheap cotton dress. I was a terrible fixture that left your whole world in a mess. I'm walking on shattered glass pieces and bleeding alone in the night. I'm sorry I failed you, my darling. I couldn't do anything right. My breathing is heavy, my fingers are weak. The shadows are long on the floor. The doctor was quiet and opted to speak, with eyes looking down at the door. I don't fear the dirt or the cold of the grave. I don't fear the dark of the end. I just want the chance for my spirit to save the heart of my beautiful friend. The ticking is counting the days I have left. The winter is biting my bone. I carry the guilt like an awful old theft, and I cannot bear it alone. I don't fear the dirt or the cold of the grave. I don't fear the dark of the end. I just want the chance for my spirit to save the heart of my beautiful friend. Before time takes me into the night, before I run out of my breath, please grant me the mercy to make it all right before I surrender to death. I just need to hear you say pardon. I just need to see your sweet face before time takes me to the garden and buries my soul in its place. Carry the cross through the briar and mud. I wrestle the ghosts in the night. I paid for my sins in my sweat and my blood, but now I am seeing the light. The heavy old winter is melting away. The burden falls off of my skin. I look at the break of a beautiful day. This must be where life begins. I pardon the man in the mirror at last. I pardon the choices you made. The sorrow belongs to a fading old past. The shadows are starting to fade. The heavy old winter is melting away. The burden falls off of my skin. I look at the break of a beautiful day. This must be where life begins. was a dark, empty hole, a silence we all have to face. But I feel the lifting of weight from my soul. I'm walking with gentle grace. A morning is touching the mountain. My journey is finally done. I'm drinking from heaven's sweet fountain. The ending is where life begins. There used to be boots tracking mud in the hall. There used to be plates in the sink. The morning was loud and the voices would call. I barely had quiet to think, but the house grew quiet, so terribly still. The echoes have faded away. The silence is a poison I cannot unspill. It's drowning my spirit today. The old wooden staircase is missing the tread of feet running down to the door. The hound dog is resting his gray, heavy head. He knows you ain't coming no more. But the house grew quiet, so terribly still. The echoes have faded away. The silence is a poison I cannot unspill. It's drowning my spirit today. I used to complain of the noise and the mess. I prayed for a minute of peace. Be careful the things that you ask request can request. For now, all the memories cease. The clock on the mantle is ticking. The only sound left in the room is quiet, is wicked and sickening. It feels like the inside of a tomb. I know that I burned down the bridges. I know that I caused you the pain. I live with the ghosts on these ridges, just calling your beautiful name. If you ever find yourself falling, if the sky tumbles down to the sea, you don't have to say you forgive me. Just tell me that you're needing me. I won't ask a thing of your future. I won't try to step in your yard. I only just want to make sure the world isn't hidden too hard. If you ever find yourself falling, if the sky tumbles down to the sea, you don't have to say you forgive me. Just tell me that you're needing me. My number has never been changing. My truck is parked out in the drive. I'll drive through the storm without thinking, to keep your sweet spirit alive. You don't have to love me again, no. Just promise you won't bleed alone. If you ever need an old soldier. Just pick up the telephone.